This wasn't just a game, it was a declaration. The New York Knicks didn't just eliminate the Boston Celtics in Game 6. They overpowered, outworked, and outclassed them on every inch of the hardwood. After 25 long years, the Knicks are storming back to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they made sure the entire NBA heard them roar from Madison Square Garden. If you love playoff intensity, raw emotion, and basketball history in the making, hit that subscribe button and support Basketball Insider USA. Your support fuels every breakdown and keeps this community thriving. From the moment the ball was tossed into the air, you could feel it. Something special was brewing in the Garden. The arena vibrated with electricity, as if the fans themselves were an extra defender on the court. Karl-Anthony Towns caught the ball near the low block. With a single drop step, he sealed off Al Horford, elevated, and kissed the glass with finesse. That single bucket cracked the lid off MSG like an earthquake. Then came Mikal Bridges, slithering into the lane, curling around a high screen like a phantom, and twisting in a reverse layup off the glass. Smooth, silky, ruthless. On defense, Anunoby looked like a man possessed. He stalked passing lanes, met bodies at the rim, and sent a statement with a soul-snatching block on Jaylen Brown that sent the ball pinwheeling into the stands. The Garden crowd reacted like he had dunked it on someone's head. Jalen Brunson, with his calm demeanor and icy footwork, took control like a maestro, probing the defense, lulling Jrue Holiday with a hesitation, then exploding into a step-back mid-range jumper. Splash. The Celtics tried to keep pace. Jaylen Brown buried a triple. Kristaps Porzingis responded with one of his own. But the Knicks were relentless. Towns answered both with a cold-blooded 3, holding his follow-through as if to say, "This is our night." Then came a back-breaking sequence. Anunoby with a second chase-down rejection, Bridges pushing in transition, and Towns capping it off with a trailing 3 that detonated the Garden like TNT. Boston came out searching for life. Instead, they found a Knicks team that had smelled blood. Brunson continued slicing up the Celtics' defense with surgical precision. He wasn't just scoring, he was orchestrating. A no-look dish to Josh Hart, a zip pass to the corner for Bridges, a soft bounce to Mitchell Robinson diving toward the rim. The Celtics couldn't rotate fast enough. Mikal Bridges glided into a mid-range jumper. OG Anunoby used a jab step to freeze Brown before blowing by him for an and-one finish. He let out a roar, flexing as his teammates mobbed him. The Celtics called timeout, but it couldn't stop the bleeding. Jaylen Brown kept fighting, curling off staggered screens and getting downhill. But even his tough finishes felt like desperation. The Knicks swarmed every pass, contested every shot, and dove for every loose ball. Mitchell Robinson's motor was relentless. He tracked rebounds like a heat-seeking missile, boxed out 2 men at once, and protected the rim like a medieval fortress. Deuce McBride came in and instantly blew the game wide open, draining a corner, bank shot, then sprinting back and erasing a layup with a perfectly timed block that brought the crowd to its feet again. Then came the final dagger of the half. Brunson shook his defender with a filthy behind-the-back into a step-back. He fired. Swish. And with seconds left, the Knicks swung the ball to the weak side. Anunoby launched a triple from the corner. Buzzer. Buckets. Halftime score, Knicks 59, Celtics 41. The crowd was in a frenzy. The Celtics? Staring down a second-half mountain they weren't prepared to climb. The Celtics tried to open the third with a counterpunch. Derek White drilled back-to-back threes. Brown fought for a tough layup through contact. For a fleeting moment, it felt like Boston might mount a push, but every time they blinked, the Knicks made them pay. Bridges countered with a smooth pull-up jumper from the elbow. Brunson danced into the paint, pivoted, faked, and buried another jumper. Then Towns, bruising and brilliant, spun off Horford, banked in a contested layup, and drew the foul. The Garden shook again. OG. Anunoby kept shining, knifing through. Defenders for another acrobatic finish and draining a step-back three that sent Kristaps sliding backwards. His versatility on both ends completely dismantled Boston's flow. McBride nailed a step-back two. Hart crashed in for a putback bucket. Even when Boston played great defense, the Knicks hit tougher shots. It wasn't just execution, it was emotion, effort, energy. Every Knicks player was locked in. Every fan stood for every minute. By the end of the third, the Knicks had extended their lead again, and the Celtics looked like a team staring at the inevitable. The final 12 minutes felt like a coronation. The Celtics began the quarter flat, demoralized, and then came the sixth foul on Jaylen Brown. He walked toward the bench slowly, head low, shoulders slumped. The Garden serenaded him with a chorus of, "Goodbye." That was the moment the city knew it. This series was over. Josh Hart buried a corner three. Mikal Bridges followed with a dagger from the top of the arc. The Celtics had no answer. Not on defense. Not on offense. Their body language said it all. Kristaps looked lost. Drew looked exhausted. The Celtics were done. On the other end, the Knicks were running, passing, enjoying it. OG Anunoby hit one final three and let it fly high into the Garden lights. Brunson dribbled out the final minute as the crowd swelled to its loudest yet. Fans screamed, hugged, cried. The camera panned to Spike Lee throwing his arms to the sky. The horns sounded. And just like that, 25 years of waiting came to an end. This wasn't just a win, it was a message to the league. The Knicks are here. The Knicks are real. And they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Brunson was the heart. Towns was the hammer. OG Anunoby was the soul. Bridges, Hart, Robinson, McBride, every single Knick brought it tonight. Don't let anyone tell you this team isn't for real. Subscribe to Basketball Insider USA if you felt the magic of tonight. Drop a comment if you believe this Knicks squad can make a run to the finals. Like and share this video with every New Yorker you know. This one's for the city.